According to the United Nations, 5 million Syrians have been forced to flee for their lives and seek refuge in other countries since the start of the civil war back in 2011. Many of these refugees are children who have had to endure serious mental and physical trauma. Well, one of these children is Najib Ali, who was paralysed in a bomb attack. Well, he is now undergoing life-changing spinal reconstruction surgery at Great Ormond Street Hospital. And it's all thanks to the work of the humanitarian organisation Goodwill Caravan. With us now is the founder of that group, Hanan Ashegh. Hanan, it's good to see you this morning. We were showing a report earlier on from our special correspondent Lisa Holland following Najib's story. Tell us, if you can, where you first came into contact with him and how he came to your attention.
Sure. Goodwill Caravan is registered in Greece and the UK. We met Najib. He was referred to us January 2017. We found that Najib had been, like many other refugee children, on a waiting list for a year. And it's because the Greek government, they're overwhelmed. You have an average of, 85,000 refugees, and that's the official number trapped in the borders of Greece today. At that point, we realized that when we took Najib to a private doctor, and at that point it was with Sky News, April 2017, that his kidneys were failing and his pulmonary function was getting very reduced. It's at 40% now. And we've stayed with him. It's been an uphill battle, but we got him here.
Here we can see him arriving at Heathrow. He's being treated at Great Ormond Street Hospital. How is he? Because, you know, many people watching at home will have children Najib's age, and it's an absolute nightmare for a parent, for your child to be in this situation and not being able to help. How is he? How is his family? How have they survived this journey?
Well, Najib is with his mother. She stayed with him, even in the dinghy. She had him in her lap. And it's been very difficult for him. His childhood has been robbed like many other refugee children, especially airstrike victims. But you'd be surprised. Children are so resilient, and he's so grateful to be here. And he's so very grateful to the generosity of the British public helping him get through. And you'd be surprised. He smiles more than he cries.
That's really good to hear. Najib is one of the lucky ones, because for every Najib there is hundreds of thousands of children who won't make it this far, who won't get the access to the kind of specialist treatment that he's going to receive here in London.
That's very true. We have a waiting list of 216 airstrike victims in Greece ourselves, mostly from Syria and Iraq, and we have some coming in from Yemen also. Like I said, the issue in Greece mainly is, and many countries in Europe, is that they are overstretched. They themselves are in austerity, and they can't deal with the tens of thousands of cases coming their way. So children like Najib are put on waiting lists for over a year, and their health deteriorates. Najib's case was time sensitive. This is why we chose to help him first when it comes to bringing him over to the UK.
What can people do to help? Because I've already had a few tweets in since we've been showing Lisa Holland's report here on Sky News this morning about Najib, saying, what can I do? Does Najib need more donations? Are there other children like him that could do with some financial aid?
Sure. Well, they can go on to goodwillcaravan.org. We're on Twitter and Instagram also. We have already paid for Najib's investigations over the past 3 months, all privately funded. None of this is from the NHS, which is why it's taken so long to get him here. And now we have, thank God, deposited $38,500 to Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is a heavily reduced rate. They have been so kind. And we have yet to raise another $30,000 for his rehabilitation. The reason why these costs are so high is because Najib is private and he's a refugee. Many of the hospitals that we go to and the spinal cord injury centers that we speak to say that this is a first for them. They haven't seen a refugee on private before. Normally it's from the NHS, which costs the people of the country that the child would be in. This is all private. That's how they can help.
So you're fundraising for Najib's rehabilitation after his life-changing surgery.
Yes.
Then what happens to him and his family? Because presumably they can't go back to the place that they called home, Syria.
No, they can't. And there's a lot of misunderstanding about refugees leaving Syria. In Najib's family's case, and this is why they're so close to my heart, they stayed in Syria for 3 years after the airstrike. They didn't want to leave. Most refugees don't want to leave the comfort of their home and put their child in a dinghy. Now that they're here, after the reconstructive spinal surgery, he'll be in a spinal cord injury centre in Stoke Mandeville, if we can raise the funds, in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully after that, his surgery is on the 1st of November. He moves to the centre on the 15th. And after that, we hope to take him to Poland to a place called the Walk Again Clinic, where he has a 1% chance of walking again. But for a mother, I mean, I myself am a mother.
Yeah,
1% is
that
enough
chance,
of a chance,
yeah.
yes.
Well, Hanan Ashegh, thank you very much for coming in to tell us Najib's story. Lisa Holland, our special correspondent, has been following his story since the start, and he is in her documentary, Syria's Forgotten Children, that you'll be able to see here on Sky News. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.